Jill, I guess this could be a question for you too, because wanting to cultivate the community aspect is so crucial, I know, for you. So if you can just explain, where your head's at with that and how you view, because we rolled up here and you guys are just, kicking it out here, enjoying family time together, and I know that's probably a big thing that you value here.
Yeah, one of the biggest things that's hurt rural America is when the economic energy has been extracted to the venture capital, to like corporate farming, agribusiness, all the vitality left the agriculture, the manufacturing, and with it, the brain drain pulled the quality people out to the cities. And one of the hardest things we've faced in the last 5 years, getting to where we are now, is so much of the industry is people just talking, not doing. And there's so many guys who wade their way in, they're on Twitter, they project that they're doing big things, but when push comes to shove, they've not tried it, they've not put their boots on the ground, their hands in the dirt, they've not suffered. Like we were talking earlier, like you face so many problems on the way through it, you just grit your teeth and you're stubborn enough to survive it.
Like, that's
Like,
why I love the bison. The only way out is through. Like,
yeah.
you gotta just go.
Yep.
So like one of my mentors, we talk about entrepreneurship. And my definition for entrepreneurship is having an accurate long-term thesis of reality and the stubbornness and adaptability to survive until it comes true. And for us, we've had such a hard time finding good people. And one of the things that makes what's happening here unique is there's a different worldview being brought where like the first principles problems are really understood, whether you're talking the herd share backers, which we'll talk about more later, and like where the financial foundations for what we're doing comes from, and the collaborative scale of kind of local economic energy being able to do regenerative agriculture at a viable size, right? Or the people on the ground building with us. And so like when you walked up, I was like, man, I want you to start meeting everybody, because the years of holding space, like another thing my mentor says, he says miracles take a lot of hard work because you have to hold open space until the miracle arrives. And like that's part of what we had to do as the core team for the mission here. We raised the banner. We're like, this is what we're doing. We're going to go figure this out and solve the problems and make it work in the world to forerun it for the rest of everybody else who's struggling, and hold that banner long enough to suffer until the rest of the right, good people join us.
It's like the build it and they will come.
Yeah, but like...
Or is it more than that?
Like so many places try that. Like I don't want to throw a bunch of people under the bridge and start naming names, but
yeah,
there's places over like Appalachia region, I'll say it that way, kind of projects that are talking about like restoring like conservative rural America, but like all they are is real estate investment projects, cutting up farmland into micro hobby farms, selling them to rich people, destroying the economic vitality of agriculture because now it's financialized, right? Like, and they have this worldview where it's like, well, we're just gonna say that like we're freedom-loving people and all the right people will show up and it'll magically be a bastion of American culture. But it doesn't work that way. Culture has to be cultivated. It's not magic. It's not just if you build it, they'll come. You have to build the body of people just as you have to build the land and the animal production systems. And that's honestly been one of the hardest parts because rural America is gutted. The young men are gone. The families are broken. Everybody's sick and unhealthy, right? Like this gets back into a lot of your work where this is my girlfriend, Erin. She's a founder of Fresh RX Oklahoma. She's nationally recognized basically in the food as medicine movement for tying healthcare to contracts where she's getting prescriptions from doctors to provide regenerative quality, nutrient-dense food to focus on mostly on type 2 diabetic patients right now. And then they track health outcomes, and they're working to get to where the insurance companies are paying for outcomes on improvement of chronic disease through health food. And then her company, Fresh RX, provides cooking and education, community support and accountability, and then also logistics and support of finding the nutrient-dense food locally to provide it on a regular basis of food that was picked one day and it's in the hands of the patients the next, right? And so she's doing a lot of work locally in Oklahoma here, not just building the supply chains for regenerative farms, which a lot of them in the area here for the market gardens in the Northeast area, they got off the ground because of what she's doing, tying medical dollars and money into the low-income communities with these projects, that it's actually built the whole vitality of the market garden stuff here in Northeast Oklahoma. And that focus has enabled the awakening of the supply chains here, but her focus on nutrient density of food is helping restore the health of the people, which is tied back to the vitality of rural America, right? And so like there's all these threads, like how much of like my neighbor, right? He really awesome guy. He's a leader in his local church. He built the house just around the corner, grew up, lived here. He was the county commissioner for 2 election cycles. He comes out and does my hay, right? He does the custom haying. Every time he's out, he's overweight. He's got a Big Mac with him and a big thing of soda. Like, how much of what we see in the trouble of rural America is just because the people aren't healthy? Like, what's the rate of chronic disease now? It's like 78% of Americans have a chronic disease.
Of having chronic disease. If you're 50 in the United States, you have at least one chronic condition, and if you're 65 or older, you're on 15 or more prescription drugs per year. And it's because it's because of ultra processed food, but also because our food is so depleted because of the way we have farmed. So we're really restoring that, and we see that models like Smoke River Ranch have the ability to cultivate the culture, but also to stimulate economic development and really resurrect rural America and the soil microbiology at the same time, and restore that along with ourselves, with our restoring our souls that have been really utterly destroyed.
And like so much of the issues we see of broken rural community, I mean, it's tied back to that. Like, the farmers in America, by and large, are almost basically just in food deserts. They're raising crops. They're not really eating their own food. They don't have access to healthy fruits and vegetables or healthy products, right? And that ties back to, like, well, how do we get in this place where the farmers are basically eating the same way like the low-income classes do in America, and it's a part of the collapse of the rural cultures because there's no vitalism anymore, right?